This week on Cup of Rad, episode 81 with Mike
and Katie.
And we can't do X-Men and X-Men without
Deadpool
on Cup of Rad. Hey kids, we're back. That's right, a special episode for you. It is all
bonus.
about, right? It's like a bonus episode.
Yeah.
Because you're getting an extra one in May.
Yeah.
So all because it's X-May.
Yeah.
And
we couldn't leave out
Deadpool.
We couldn't leave out the DP.
No. As we told you last episode, it was going to be full of DP action. Hot and heavy DP action in your ears.
So we had to break out beer for that. Sorry. I mean,
couldn't be lucid if you're getting DP.
I didn't say that. We didn't drink beer while we watched the movies.
Oh, we're okay. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So here we are.
Right early on, right in the gutter, right there.
Yeah, well, you can't be Deadpool episode without having some.
A Deadpool episode has to be explicit.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, but saying now that it's going to be explicit, it'll probably be the cleanest Deadpool episode you've ever seen.
Right? Be like, really? Who are these people?
Clean.
Yeah.
But
so before we get into that,
so yeah, a weekly recap. What's going on in the world of Cup of Rad? Yeah, there you go.
Mezco finally has released like a date and a pre-order and information about the amazing comic Wonder Woman.
The 112 armored Wonder Woman.
The 112 armored one. And oh my God. Oh, I'm so excited.
You've been waiting for this one for almost by the time this thing comes out, it'll be like 2 years since.
Well, yeah, because I saw that originally and I was like, that's the one I want. There's no Hot Toys. There's nothing. That's the one I want. That's happening. And then I kind of lost faith that it was actually going to happen because it just disappeared.
Well, because they brought out the movie one. And then like in the meantime, they never showed the classic one. And all of a sudden the classic one showed up.
Right.
And I was like, oh crap. Did they not get licensing approval for this thing?
And I don't want the movie one. It's not, nothing's necessarily wrong with it, but I would much rather have one that looked more comic, brighter. Right? Yeah, and I wanted the brighter colors, and I wanted the black hair, and just a little bit of little buffer. So I'm really excited that this is coming out.
So we gotta make sure we get that pre-ordered for you.
Yes,
because that's pretty good Christmas present.
Well, I loved all the different effects, the lasso and sword and spear and everything. It's gonna be awesome.
And the battle axe.
Her and Batman are gonna train.
And the shield.
Yes.
And it comes with. I like that it comes with a molded lasso.
Yeah, so she can hold on to it.
Yeah, because you've got one that has just like a cloth lasso.
Yeah.
And it's like falling apart.
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah. But it does come with like a soft goods lasso, but it's got like tips on the end.
Well, that way she can like hold it and wrap it around someone.
So this is people getting throttled. It also has bullet effects.
The bullet effects on the bracelets, right? Yeah, so which is really awesome.
Comes with two heads.
So, it showed in some of the marketing pictures. It showed her fighting Darkseid though.
Yeah,
and that looked amazing. But no, I'm excited. I know it's not going to be proper scale, but whatever. She's totally going to fight my Ares.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah. That thing is really hard to stand.
Then she'll be standing on him.
Maybe she'll be throttling.
He will be on the ground and she will be foot on his chest and it will be amazing.
Okay.
Is that better?
There we go.
Okay.
But yeah, like we're all about the Mezco right now. Like I'm like drooling over all the ones. Mm-hmm. It's hard not to because they do make fantastic product. I've got my eye on a few things. But what also showed up in glorious fashion is that the Star Wars Rebels from the Hasbro Black Series are getting re-released, which is awesome because I never even saw Chopper and Ezra any of the places.
Yeah, it's weird to think of a re-release. It's like, when did they come out to begin with?
And but on top of that, though, Zeb is finally getting a figure. He's a deluxe figure,
which is awesome.
So he's a little bit more money, so he's a little bit bigger. But I definitely need to be able to get those Rebels to pad out that team, because that's one thing. As much as I like slimming out of not doing like the Marvel Legends in the black, that I need the Rebels because it's just it was such a great show and I enjoyed it so much. It's on Disney Plus. Watch it.
I still really want to watch the last season again.
Yeah.
And just it's been so long and it's just so much happening and everything. So
I was hoping when they said that they were going to be bringing out the other Rebels, there was like rumors milling about that there could be final season versions. So I was like expecting that to happen.
Yeah.
Right. But there was also the idea that there's going to be a giant like 7-pack and like all these things. But single pack available at all retailers.
That's phenomenal.
Gives me actually a chance to get it. So I'm excited for that. For sure. And I've been seeing too that they are going to be bringing out their first Ewok for the Black Series. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to just score the Tebow because that's amazing.
The Ewok shelf.
Yeah.
I have a Little Mermaid shelf. He has an Ewok shelf.
Right. It's only fair.
Yeah, understandable.
They're the best thing in Star Wars. Watch the rage in the ears of a few listeners. Still saying Disney Plus PG-13 Ewok series in the vein of Planet of the Apes.
It would be amazing. Just
saying, go back and watch the Matt Reeves series, right? And maybe that would be amazing. Mm-hmm. You know what? Okay, rumor mill. Let's pad some rumors here.
Oh,
just because why not?
We can.
But what's his nut?
Yes,
Cavill,
that's what he says.
Is coming back as Superman in DC movies of some form. Play Superman.
If he does, I love it. I mean,
so far,
love him as Superman.
So far, nothing's been said about actually a Superman movie. It's just cameos. And
he's just gonna fly across the sky. Oh look, up in the sky!
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, that's all. He's gonna play Blur.
Right. Yeah. So he's been in talks for that. So by the time the podcast comes out, he's probably going to be doing it.
Yeah, probably.
And then also too, the thing that grain of salt is that apparently some of the AT&T executives are very excited to try to get Affleck back in the suit.
That's cool.
So, and even as much as being said, like, well, we've already established we have a multiverse, so anything's a possibility. So I'm assuming they're looking to really bring their HBO Max into.
This is what how they're going to save it. They're just going to forget about box office, and everything's going to be on HBO.
Yeah.
They see the value of streaming stuff, so maybe that, unfortunately, to a point, will be the way, right? So
I'm gonna add
another streaming service to our. I'm just gonna stop having cable. I'm just gonna buy all these streaming.
Well,
services.
we can't. Up in Canada, we can't get HBO Max.
Well, we will have to. I'm assuming it'll be somewhere with Crave, right?
Yeah,
and it'll be in there with it. It's got to be. I mean, they've got to find a way to do that.
Yeah,
it would be horrific if they didn't.
So
riots in the streets, man.
But yeah, so there's lots of stuff that's in the but nothing's really going on because everything's kind of like still grinding to a halt and stuff's starting to get back and all that. But I think you're gonna see a lot more streaming because it's going to be easier for companies. Apparently a lot of animation companies never saw a blip in their production. Some were able to send it home
away, right?
So, which is pretty cool. So some companies are ahead. So some shows aren't going to be delayed on that aspect. Others are. So we'll see what happens.
Speaking of animated, we watched a really bizarre Rick and Morty episode this week.
Yeah. If y'all didn't see it, Rick fucked a planet. Okay, you didn't get to see him do it, which was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, you want to know how the mechanics of that worked.
Gaia.
Yeah, it was all like Greek mythology based, and
God shows up. Zeus shows up.
Zeus shows up and rolls in, and then poor Jerry. Oh my God, I feel so bad for that guy. Like, he's such a tool, but at the same time, like, you feel his kids are so horrible to him.
Yeah.
Like, they're just atrocious. And I like that they at least kind of realized that they messed up on things. And I thought it was funny that Rick was like, yeah, totally going to cover your back. You're the best things ever. And then threw them right under the bus at the end. And I was like, in true Rick fashion. So that was interesting.
Your daughter's been huffing brake fluid. It was a dark episode, though.
Well, and Morty just thinking that everything can run just like a video game.
Yeah.
Like, oh, goodness.
Like the last couple episodes, I mean, with the Vat of Acid.
Yeah.
Vat of Acid one with the jump back respawn device.
Oh, yeah.
That was a sad episode.
Yes.
Like,
it's been like, yeah, they've been like...
Dark,
exactly. Well, there's been like current jokes in it, stuff that you can tell was just...
Which is weird too, right?
How did they manage that?
Yeah. So they would slide that in.
Yeah, so yeah, that was...
Go buy things. We're in a pandemic.
Right? But I thought it was funny with all the kids, like with Gaia and the kids there, that they were created this little mini civilization. It just shows how, on the depth level, it shows how broken their relationship, him and Bess, is. And just how much she craves his approval, and that she's only worth something when she's doing something to help him, and just there's so much psychology in that show, really, and real life feelings, right? They're not they seem like they're extreme parodies, but they're not as much so. Say like Simpsons can be so much of like a ridiculous, like not real, right? But Rick and Morty, you see like, wow, I can see real people. Like this. Totally. And that's what makes it worse. Yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah. It's weird to see all the layers that are actually in that show. Right. Where others you can't. Mm-hmm. So no, it's a weird season. You know, I don't know. It's been interesting. I'm enjoying it, but it hasn't really there hasn't been an episode yet to blow my mind. Like, well, there's not as much as humor, right? Yeah, it's getting deeper almost, right? So I like how important the camping was, though. That Jerry just decided he created his own civilization, based on the camping stuff. Right? The s'mores. Use the stick. So yeah. Okay, we should probably get down to some DP action. All right. So it's Deadpool time. Yeah, Deadpool. So X-Men, Deadpool. It's X-May. We're Deadpool. There's gonna be background music, and it's just stopping background music because you were just looking. I was listening. His face was just like, "What the fuck is happening?" It was gonna happen. Like, what was gonna happen? Yeah. Where was this song going? It was just a Deadpool song. It was just a Deadpool song? That is the extent of my singing. But isn't it like sexy motherfucker? Yeah, there you go. I had that for a little while. I tried to have it as your ringtone on my phone. Yeah, I remember that. And then I realized that was not okay. Not appropriate. Because if it rang with kiddo around or in public, it was just like, oh God. I remember us being jarring. At Barnes and Noble, and it went off, and yeah, doesn't work. Anyways, so Deadpool, we watched Deadpool. So Deadpool stars Ryan Reynolds. That's really who it stars. Yeah. Okay, so first off, this movie started fantastic. Mm-hmm. You have this slow motion, like crazy ass action scene going on in the background, and the credits are freaking hilarious. And because I remember the first time, you're like, wait a second, that says something funny. Right. and then you're like intently trying to like look at what's going on, but also read all the awesome, like making fun of everyone that was involved with that movie and the world of superheroes at the time. Mm-hmm. And it was just off to a great start. Oh yeah. I remember that too, that opening scene and how it all was just fantastic. Right? Like, I can't believe this is actually doing this. Like, it's laughing at itself. And it's just being true to what it wants to be. It's just in your face, like, this is what this is, right? Yeah. So. Yeah. And then, that whole movie, the first movie is solid. Yeah. From start to finish. The action scenes, the dialogue, everything is just so on point. And it's one of those ones where even on the rewatch, I absolutely loved it. And we've watched it many times. Yeah, it doesn't get boring or anything. No, not at all. It literally hits all the points right. Like, that it was after having so many comic book failures under his belt. He was like, no, this needs to happen correctly or I will be run out of everywhere. Right. I love that he makes jokes about his prior failures in the franchise itself, right? And I think that's hilarious.
Well,
it's a beautiful mix of action and humor and heart and just enough raunchiness that it's funny.
And somehow they were able to still make a rom-com.
Right? Like, I love that there's like, no, this is actually about a love story. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, it's totally true. It
really still just falls into the same Ryan Reynolds mold of being a rom-com.
Right?
You know?
And that's you just don't see the side from her end of like being distraught, but it's still, he comes back and he's done something stupid and she's mad at him. Yeah. And, so yeah, you're right. Yeah. It is just a romantic comedy.
Yeah. It's your standard romantic comedy just filled with vulgarity.
Yeah.
So I just thought the violence in it too is just top notch.
I know, you were just like, that guy's brains are on the road.
Right. Like, well, what are you shooting those guys in that scene when they're on the overpass?
Yeah.
You know, it was so violent, and like even when the guy like hits the sign and all that and oozes off, like it was so
big splatter of gooey mess.
Yeah, it was just so violent and just so fantastic.
Yeah. Well, as you said, that's where some of the R rating was. It wasn't just the sheer amount of killing; it was the graphic aspect of it and the stylized nature of some of it. Right?
You know, the holes that you saw through people and
I like when he uses one bullet to shoot 3 people in the head.
He shot 2 people.
2 people and hit the third one. Yeah. I know. Still. I think too, I really like the way the use of the flashbacks and the storyline. I like his narration for it and him, that it starts out with something crazy. It doesn't take that time to ramp up. It's like, it's going back to like, how the hell did I get here? Yeah. And it's done really well with it. So I really don't have a complaint.
That's one of the things with that movie is that you can definitely tell with Deadpool, the first one there, was that it was untested really. Mm-hmm. Right? Like Blade and stuff, they had their R-rated, but like this was R-rated and comedy, but also like a known franchise tied to a known franchise. Yeah. Like not its own 100% thing. Right. And so you could tell that they were really trying to hook people. Like, how can we hook you into this? Yeah. And get you involved and get you on the ride with us, right? Yeah. And they really did. The writing in that is top notch. Right.
And Ryan Reynolds did such a fabulous job. He was so perfect in it. And I mean, he will forever be hooked with that now. Now that's just
you see any trailers or anything he's in. He literally is Deadpool in every movie. He's become Johnny Depp without realizing it.
Yes, you're right.
Right. He basically, Johnny Depp played Jack Sparrow and everything.
And so he just became Jack Sparrow. Yeah. And now Ryan Reynolds has become Deadpool.
Yeah. 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 Even in his like gin commercials and stuff like that. Like that's literally him. Like Detective Pikachu. It's just a PG version of,
which was part of why the movie was so wonderful.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like that's the thing. Like that's even when you look at a bit of that Free Guy that's coming out later this year.
Oh yeah, totally. I see that too.
Right. So it's that he created his little like The Rock. Yeah. They created this character that we insert into every movie.
And then we just,
and we ride it out until we finally decided after 10 years that we're like, damn, we're done with that shit.
Like, wait a second. This is the same thing over and over again. Right? Yeah. Well, because he finally found a character that people like him in that's not just the silly, ridiculous, like, blow-off romantic comedy thing, right? So.
Yeah. But. So on a fun note, when you watch the movie, and for those that are not from where we are, you're basically seeing Vancouver. Yeah. They don't even go as far as changing road signs in this movie.
Well, and especially we noticed even more in Deadpool 2 as well, right? Mm-hmm. But yes.
Oh yeah, but
both of them. It's like I know what that is.
The signage is literally they just blurred it.
Yeah.
Even to the fact where when he goes to where she works, number 5 Orange,
that's a real strip club, and everything about that is real there.
Like they must have been part of whatever deal they made to film there was they couldn't change the name and they couldn't change like the merch and the screens on the side.
Well, it's unbelievable actually how much of it you do see.
Yeah.
It's like,
it is that subliminal marketing, right? Where it's just like a lot of people will just assume that it's...
Well, it's that idea now. I mean, God, for them to be able to be there, they probably were able to use it for free because, quite honestly, you're like, oh, I'm in Vancouver. Oh, where do I want to go? I want to go to the strip joke club that was in Deadpool. That's where I want to go, you know? So...
Oh, exactly. Like it's that idea where it's like...
It's pure marketing for sure.
All that advertising and all that. Yep. And it's all... You know, so you can really market it as seen in Deadpool.
Yeah, right.
What? But I was trying to think of what it was that that first scene is really what captured me though. Mm-hmm. Just that whole freeway scene.
He specifically likes the violence in that scene.
It's fantastic because even as when it comes back to it all those times, right? Yeah. And including when once Colossus shows up and just everything just I
can't believe he cuts his arm off to get away from Colossus though. I mean, oh my goodness, because I'm thinking I'm like, I remember he loses his arm. How does he lose his arm again? And then he gets handcuffed and I was like, oh yeah, he cuts it off.
Yeah.
So I like this too because it's very in comparison to said second one, that there is clearly a bad guy. You know he's a bad guy from the very beginning. He's awful. And he has his henchmen. There is, yes, Deadpool is not a stereotypical black and white hero. I get that. But it fits that hero mold, right?
He has something to conquer.
Yeah, you feel like, well, we know exactly what he's trying to go after. There's just a black and white of he's a bad guy. Yeah. You know?
It's a revenge pick.
Yeah. And so you
romantic comedy revenge pick.
So you have the underlying story of Colossus trying to kind of save Deadpool's soul. But otherwise it's I really like... I don't have a complaint about this movie. I love it so much. It fits everything. It's a perfect
date movie.
It is. It's a perfect couple movie because you get that romantic, you get that action, you get the sexiness, you get the humor, you get everything.
International Women's Day.
You get International Women's Day. Every day is International Women's Day.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It's just it's funny, like, and it hits those marks, like you say, like it literally is
everything.
And
it's
it hasn't really gone down in enjoyment with the watches. Yeah. Right. And as an X fan, I like the fact that we actually got Colossus more properly. Yeah. You know,
he's got a slightly larger dude.
Well, it was just, you know, he looked like Terminator. Yeah. Liquid metal dude in X3 there. But like, yeah, you know, he actually bigger, you know, had the weird, for some reason, his hair turns metal but stayed black. Right. Like, I like that.
He looks straight out of the comics, which is cool.
Yeah, and you get his stereotypical Russian fake accents. Mm-hmm. And yeah. It's just
good stuff.
That one where it hits those moments. Like you know, he's so you know, true blue good. Yeah. You know, and we go back to that freeway scene, the fact that it's hilarious to watch as Deadpool tries to fight him. Oh yeah. You know, and just is shattering
breaks
all his
in
bones,
everything.
Right? Oh. He's like, everyone feared the T-Rex. Right? Like, yeah.
Good stuff.
But yeah, Deadpool is probably one of the best X-Men movies. Mm-hmm.
For overall everything, right?
Because it doesn't really have anything that's really wrong with it.
Well, because you really care that he...
Except for there's a lot of dong in it.
Oh.
Burnt, like, charcoal dong.
Just once is enough for you, right? It was too much.
No, it was in like a lot of scenes in that scene though.
Yeah, well, they just wanted to clearly say that he was naked, I guess.
Apparently.
But okay, so
like that was the scene they choose to have him naked. It was all like,
I know, it was very disappointing.
Like a meat sack, rotting meat sack.
Maybe that's why they were able to, because it wasn't something that people wanted to see. It was like he didn't really look human anymore.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like
I don't know why we couldn't have naked in when his sex scenes were happening.
Whoever wanted to see Freddy Krueger naked?
No one did, which is why they were able to do it. But if they had it,
why would you do that if no one wanted to see it?
Because it had to fit. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to see if they could get away with it.
Probably.
You know, seems legit. But that whole scene, though, with all the torturing and bringing out, like, I see what he's talking about. I mean, it sounds horrible, but, you know, causing the body to stress and evolve, essentially. I mean, it fits a mutation aspect.
It's working out, though, too, right?
But, oh my God, it's so awful. Like, all the torture that he's doing for these, and that it's just, and the look, he does such a good job of showing when he finally has that broken spirit and looks so despondent and just like, I can't believe this human being is doing this to me. And it's just, so then you have that intense drama as well.
Yeah.
And you really care that, oh my God, this is actually happening to a person.
So what you're saying is that this movie should have won an Oscar for the best picture because it hit every mark.
It hit every mark. It's totally.
The only thing it was missing was a musical number.
Yeah, there's
drug use.
Yeah.
Because the Academy likes drug use. There's nudity.
Yeah.
Academy likes that. There's drama.
There's
too pretty. Action.
She was too pretty.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Just seems like ones that are dramatic and like.
No, there was no musical.
No, but I'm talking about that
she wasn't strung out, but she was a stripper.
Yeah.
And a prostitute.
But she was happy and like actually like.
Wait, because she wasn't strung out?
Yeah, they seem to like it when like women are like really down on their luck and like.
See, that's
not pretty.
Though. They need to follow the fact that, you know, she was happy in her job. She was rocking it.
I don't know why they can't just accept that. So, yeah, it was totally... I vote Deadpool Best Picture. It was totally
we did it. There you go, Ryan Reynolds. We just gave you an Oscar.
Yay!
How awesome is that? I mean, like...
Is the Academy watching?
You're right. Like, come back to Canada because, you know, we're in your hometown area. So why not, you know?
Yeah.
That's what we do. We give out fake Oscars.
Come with rad Oscars.
Yeah, we'll just gold plate a coffee mug. No problem.
That would be amazing. It would be much more practical to gold plate coffee mugs and people could hang out with their Oscars every day.
Right?
I mean, I don't know why we haven't thought of that.
That's true.
You know, make them functional. Why not, right? Wine glasses would work too. I don't know. Beer steins.
There we go. Look at that. We just solved the problem of the Oscars.
The only problem of the Oscars.
Because they're giving out butt plugs. And, you know, so you need to give out a mug of some sort because otherwise, what's the point? If you can't drink out of it, come on. The Stanley Cup, you drink out of it when you win.
All the best trophies are cups.
You can drink out of.
Yes.
So why give out a little golden butt plug? It shows you how stuck up and backwards Hollywood can be.
Oh, goodness.
You said we were explicit, so
I know, but it's just...
It is.
I'm not laughing at the, oh my goodness, I can't believe we're talking about that.
Next time you look...
the funny thing is now I'm never going to not see a butt plug when I look at the Oscars.
When you look at the Oscar statue, it's like a dildo.
I know.
Right? At least the Golden Globe, you can shank someone. But what can you know?
Does it have a sharp thing on the Golden Globe? It's not just
the wings.
Oh, yes, you could.
Yeah.
I love what you can't shank someone with an Oscar.
You can't.
It's a dull
object. It's a blunt object. You could beat someone, but most likely you're going to end up bucking them with it. Because
it's gotten really weird.
Because it's like the only thing you can do.
It's things to do with your Oscar. I wish we could not that. Like just I wonder
by an Oscar? No. This is going down right now. It's getting weird.
The idea that like is there other people that actually own Oscar, like not own, but have received Oscars that have like wondered what the hell am I going to do with this thing, or have thought the same thing and be like, why is this not more functional?
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not asking to be fucked by an Oscar. We're going full on explicit on this one.
Well, you said it was Deadpool, so
impressive.
You know, well, yeah. Why not? Why not make an actual cup that they can drink out of?
I think so too. You know, and then we'll just make it a giant Oscar party, like full on Oscar party. They can just, you know, hand out beer out on stage. You know, just party it up. Just let loose.
A kegger. It might go faster,
right?
Everyone that thinks they deserve an Oscar, come get your solo cup.
Okay. Now that we've discussed that Ryan Reynolds gets a coffee, beer, wine, some sort of cup Oscar.
A cup to drink his gin out of.
There you go, right? That's more importantly.
Yeah.
So Deadpool 2. We went into Deadpool 2.
Which is Deadpool 2 right off the bat. Wow. Yeah. There's no foreplay on this one.
No.
Okay, so I remember when we first watched Deadpool. When we first watched Deadpool 2,
yeah,
I remember having issues with it.
Yeah.
And more or less, I just didn't find it as focused as the first one. So, and we've watched it a couple times since, and I still had the same kind of feeling. So, and then I realized that we never watched the extended cut that came with the DVD that we bought.
That's weird.
I know, right? I don't know why. Maybe it was just kind of like,
what's the point? But yeah, that's strange.
So we decided to, on our RADnesia rewatch, because guess what? This actually is a RADnesia episode. I forgot that before.
We failed.
Oh, no, we didn't fail. We're just keeping them on their toes. Or for those that are at home that are able to like fill in the blank when they're like, wait, this is RADnesia episode. RADnesia.
Nice.
And they look crazy as they sit on the couch by themselves, air guitaring to RADnesia. Right? So I expect that.
Send us videos.
Yeah, I want videos of that. I'm looking at you, Theo, because you actually have a guitar.
You have a guitar, so I expect that.
Yeah.
So you problems with storyline.
I know. I just found
what happens when my phone goes off in the middle of the podcast.
I find that it wasn't nearly as focused as the first one. And so
it's a sequel. Of course it's not.
It was an overbloated sequel feel where like the first one felt new and fresh and exciting. The second one felt just a little bit overbloated. Yeah. So when we watched it for the X-Men rewatch, it was interesting to try to watch it with a different lens to see, because we were able to look at some of the other ones with a different lens as well. So by doing that, I realized that the extended edition I enjoyed more than the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
And I wish that I'm getting tired.
Most extended cuts now are that way. You're like, oh, that really explained that.
Yeah, right? Because all the places I remember having problems with were explained with the extended cut.
And it wasn't like it felt long.
No.
It didn't feel like there was...
Not at all.
Like, what the hell was this spot here wasted for?
And it was all those places where it was like, this felt rushed or this didn't quite match up to what was going. Why did they...
Here? Why?
Yeah.
Then?
And then those extra... Even those millisecond moments where... You're like, that connects better. Like now that response makes more sense.
Yeah. Well, because I remember being quite irritated with Russell.
Yeah.
I didn't feel for the kid. And I think my biggest problem with this movie is, say, especially with watching the first one right away, that this one doesn't have a clear villain. You have someone you're trying to save to prevent from being a villain. You have someone who you think might be a villain, but doesn't really seem to be doing anything to cause mayhem otherwise. Then you just have like the general government and the bad guys in the background. And it's not...
It was the overbloated sequel.
Yeah, there's too much going on to it. You have too many storylines now because you're trying to save Cable. You're trying to figure out what's going on with that. You have Russell trying to figure himself out. You have Deadpool trying to save Russell and find his redemption. Plus you have him grieving from something horrific. And then, so you have all these other things, and it's, again, what are they trying to do? What are they trying to, where's point A? Where's point B?
Yeah.
And how are they getting there, right? And then you have all these other characters into the team, and thankfully they at least started and thinned them out, so that was good. I mean, it was horrible. I really like Domino though.
Yeah.
I like the luck aspect. I thought it was really funny. She's not a superpower. It totally is. The think about the fact that no matter what you do, it just turns out your way. That is actually phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would be a really cool superpower.
Yeah.
So, anyways. There you go.
But you know how it starts? It starts out fantastic.
Yes.
When he's, like, doing all his jobs and the Dolly Parton thing. Like, that is fucking awesome.
Right?
Like, I
know you love the bathhouse scene because it's just ridiculous.
Well, because it, like, cuts to, like, that,
it's
like,
super
stylized music and all that. But that's what I noticed, though, about this movie is that the violence isn't nearly as much predominant.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it isn't, you don't see as much of the sprays. Like
there's more killing and there's more language or,
suggestive nature
stuff, right?
Yeah. And so like that's one of the things that was interesting. But like the opening scene, I remember like it was like, if this movie's gonna be like this is going for a ride. And then it like grinds to the halt with that meta moment of him like whining about Wolverine.
Yeah.
Right. And which is fine. But then it gets old, right? Like, and so before I sound like I'm just gonna like rag on the movie, I'm gonna say everything that I liked about it, and then I'm gonna say what I didn't like about it.
We still enjoyed the movie.
With watching the extended cut, I like it better than the theatrical cut. Yeah, and I wish that the extended cut was the theatrical cut, because then I could say I actually enjoyed the movie and I liked the movie. Because of those things that they added in there with extra stuff with Russell on multiple occasions.
That really helped me like
there was like,
I was like, okay, he doesn't seem
3 or 4 extra like moments with him that made sense for his character, right?
Yeah.
Which really did help. But where was I going?
All the things you like about it.
So okay, so
so you like the extended edition?
Yeah. It worked better. I like.
How much of your beer have you drank?
So, like.
I'm not gonna answer that question. Like, oh my god.
No. Where? What?
See, you would think we were smoking or something. I don't even know at this point. Were you smoking earlier?
I'm delirious.
This is awesome. He's just like, oh my god,
I've lost it.
We have not had alcohol in over a week.
No,
so.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So that's a big thing.
Anyways,
you like the extended cut?
Yeah, I already said that I like the extended cut.
So I don't know what else you're talking about then.
Okay, I lost my thought. You go ahead.
What do you like about the movie? Do you like Cyclops? No. Trick question.
Totally like Cyclops in this movie.
Yeah.
No, I like Cable. Cable's really good.
Cyclops was in the movie.
His DNA was in the movie.
No. He was in the door, in the room.
Yes, he was.
There was a gratuitous.
How is it gratuitous?
Because they refer to it as a gratuitous cameo. Yeah. But that's actually Wolverine. But okay, so that scene where they're in the mansion and he opens the door and all of the first class, like the X-Men there, we're trying to figure out the time frame for it. And I'm curious.
Okay, well, it did have we realized that it had the reunion sign.
We think that's what it said.
It looked like it.
Yeah.
So.
But my biggest concern is how long Storm's hair is. That's the biggest thing. It has to be, of course, after the mid-90s because Quicksilver has a Nirvana t-shirt on. But Scott, again, does not look any older.
Well, yeah. We've come to realize that no one ages.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's got long hair. Silver has a Nirvana t-shirt. So then, of course, Charles is bald.
Charles looks like so fancy and like...
So, and Beast is wearing the headmaster like suit.
Yeah.
So it has to take place after Dark Phoenix. Mm-hmm. But it has to be modern because there's cell phones, modern smartphones in the movie.
That is true. You're right.
So there you go. Even then, it shows how much mutants don't age.
Right.
Because 93 or 94, wherever Dark Phoenix took place, to now.
So it was like at least
another 20 years.
Well, you could say at least 10 years minimum because, smartphones, I guess, be at least 15 years. 15 to 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Deadpool was current times then.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It does not. Time frame. It exists in its own thing.
It does exist in its own thing because then it references Hugh Jackman dying and all that, right? And I understand. Okay, I have read Deadpool before. I understand he's meta and he's self-aware and he's in a book. That was one thing that wasn't as much of in the first movie,
yes,
as it is in the second one.
He was very much aware of that. Yeah. This
one here this is where I'm going to go more what I didn't like. I'm going to bounce back and forth because it's whatever.
You're going to do whatever the fuck you want, apparently.
I didn't like how much it reminds you that you're watching a movie. The first one didn't do that.
Yes.
This one reminded you so much that you were watching a movie.
Yeah.
And it'd be like when if you read the comic, yes, he'd make a joke once in a comic and be like, hey, guess what? We're in a comic or something like that, right? But this felt, the jokes that they made about producers and studios and this, that, and this, and lazy writing and
a little too much stuff.
It'd be like if every single page of the 22-page comic you were reading, he made a joke that you were reading a comic.
It's true.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, you're right. Because the lazy writing was used a lot.
Twice. They used it twice. Right. And then.
So what do you think of Cable?
I like Cable. I thought Josh Brolin did a good job.
Yeah.
I thought
dark. Scary.
It's like you're from the DC universe.
Right?
I really dug his Cable. I thought it was really good. It really it made me want to go get that Mezco.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for that. Surprised you didn't go.
Shameless plug.
Right?
Just because it just, reminds you how cool the character is and can be and all that, right? But
you don't have a Deadpool to go with it.
No, I don't have a Deadpool to go with it. No.
Deadpool 112 would be pretty sweet.
There was.
I'm no doubt.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
But
I love the joke that all the jokes about the X-Men, about them only being the only ones there, and then you add this one random one, her girlfriend, and that she's a My Little Pony, and I just think that was hilarious. It's like she's just so stereotypical too, right? And yeah, that one's funny. So yeah, I think I agree with you on a lot of that stuff. It was very unfocused. There was a lot of things going on. It had its really good moments.
Oh yeah, all in all,
I liked the way it turned out in the end. I mean, it was super drawn out of him. But they knew they were making it drawn out and funny with him dying and coming back and dying, coming back. But it was just there was too much happening.
Yeah, and
too many characters trying to resolve things, and it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, by all means. I mean,
it was not a train wreck. And I still was like, I enjoyed watching it, but I will always choose the first one to watch if I'm going to watch a Deadpool movie. It's always going to be better than that. And because the characters, again, you don't have that clear bad guy.
Well, I think it's a clear case of something that did really well, and then they get more money, and they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
especially because they were able to make such a good movie. I mean, those, you would notice, you said the special effects on that was clean. The action scenes were clean on the first one.
Yeah.
It wasn't muddled. It wasn't like what happened. Oh, you noticed a few editing issues in that first one, didn't you? His hole in his head disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that for the first time.
Yeah. You're like, wait a second.
When he gets stabbed in the head on the helicarrier there, some of the scenes, you can see the blood in the hole, and then some of the scenes you can't.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of weird. I'd never seen that before. So, but I liked what they did with Juggernaut. It was kind of fun to have him.
I like when Colossus finally let loose and just fought dirty.
Yeah.
And
it's a big CG fight.
Yeah. Again, with something like that, reminding you that you're watching a movie, right?
Yeah.
But
and we have more money, so for a big CG fight.
Big CG fight. Yeah. From there, and I thought it was funny when he finally did just let go for that, something like that, though, right? And so, but
yeah, I don't, as a whole, I think the Deadpool movies have been good. They've still been solid, even at its worst. I think it still is good.
Now, they didn't make another one because of all this Fox sale, right? That was really the main issue with
it's up in the air right now.
Yeah. I hope that if they are going to tackle the character again, they don't recast or do something like that. I think that would be dumb of them to. I think that he should just
everything
Deadpool.
I've heard is that they want to go ahead with it. It's just a matter of fitting into the schedule and figuring out what it is. And I think, unfortunately, with everything that's going on in the world, I believe that it's just pushed things off because it's just a great unknown. Yeah. Right.
Well, and they have more important things to try to worry about of kicking off for X-Men stuff. And I think than worrying about another Deadpool, quite honestly.
Well, they just need to do another Deadpool and just put it under now it's just going to be 20th century. Just throw it out there, right? I think they should just go ahead and follow through with their plan of the sequel.
Yeah.
And not worry about trying to tie it into the MCU or anything like that. I think it should just live in its own world. They can still keep the R rating.
And they can do something like that. And then if they wanted him to show up somewhere, then it would be one thing. Yeah. But
and you know what? Honestly, I think Deadpool can work within a PG-13 realm, because he does in the comics. It's just like Wolverine.
Yeah.
In the X-Men comics, Wolverine is PG-13.
Yeah.
In his own comics, he's R-rated pretty much. Deadpool's the same way.
Well, especially because of his humor that he has, he can still be funny and witty without sex and raunchiness and vulgarity. Right?
I think with proper writing, you could easily do that.
Yeah.
You just need to get someone that can really handle humor well enough to not, And I think we forget that when you go back to some of the comics, Deadpool isn't just about raunchy vulgarity.
Yeah.
It's just about, he's just another Wolverine, basically.
Yeah.
To be able to see, like, that was something I liked about the first one, how much he flipped and did all those weird flips all the time. Second one, he barely does it. He does it once.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have the cool flip around action, like dive scenes. Yeah.
And like that kind of stuff, like, to tie together, like, I know they Ryan Reynolds.
Well, that's what makes him and Wolverine so impressive in a fight, is that they don't care if they get hurt. Mm-hmm. So as what I did like though with Deadpool is he tries to a point to not get shot. He's still trying to dodge bullets, opposed to Wolverine that just walks at the guy that's shooting at him, right? So there is that bit of a difference. Is there's like it's almost like a challenge for him. Like how can I still jump around and dive and everything? But then. He's still, it's amazing the courage that you can have then when you can't get hurt, right?
Yeah.
So I like when he gets shot and he tries to cut up the bullets and then you realize he's not actually touching the bullets, he's just pretending to, and they're just going right through him. That was quite funny.
Right. So. See, that's the thing is I would love to see Brolin and Reynolds do like a Deadpool Cable movie.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Just together, working on the same side.
Yeah.
Like they should just do that as a sequel. I think that would be pretty awesome to see because, Cable's the straight man to Deadpool's clown.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And I really think that they could really play off something good. Mm-hmm. Finally, maybe do Mr. Sinister. I don't know.
Well, eventually. Can you imagine how many times it can be hinted at and never actually do for
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what'll happen, where it'll be. There's tons of rumors swirling around it, and it's just got to ride it out. And see what happens.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool now, so eventually it'll happen again.
They did when they first acquired Fox and all that. They said they would be looking at keeping it rated R, and everyone forgets that press conference.
Yeah,
it seems like I know things can change with the drop of a hat, but I don't know. I think we just need to sit back and know that it's a cash cow.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're going to let it go that easily.
Yeah.
And they literally just have to keep it under the 20th century banner.
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason for them not to do it.
Right. So I think we'll see it eventually.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping maybe because that we'll see a bit more of a focused film that's maybe not so bloated.
Yeah.
I think they
does Deadpool have any known villains in his world, or does he go after some of the other mutant villains?
Everything that I've read, it's usually been X-Men based.
Yeah. Or
kind of his own thing, that's more mercenary, like Hydra.
Oh, okay.
AIM.
Okay.
Mercenary.
Okay. That makes sense.
So
he doesn't have a super villain, which makes sense for the character.
I don't
because he's more of the justice aspect, it's not.
Yeah.
Someone's a group of people or someone's being wronged by someone, right?
Yeah.
So it seems more like that. So
yeah, it's all just
nice.
No, so but yeah, as a whole, both the movies are solid, and I think
they're still enjoyable for sure.
I don't have. I got some.
It's fun to rewatch them.
Yeah, I got some gripes with the second one, but it's not enough to ruin it.
Yeah.
Right. So, it was a good rewatch for sure. Yeah. That's another one too. Deadpool 2. You see a lot of Vancouver in it too.
Yeah.
You clearly see a lot of Vancouver in places.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. It's weird. It's one of those ones where
because there's other movies that have been filmed up here where really it was filmed up here.
Yeah. Or even other places where they're like, oh yeah, city was dubbed for this, and you're like, wow, I mean, you wouldn't think it. But this here is I'm watching, I'm like, y'all didn't even try.
Yeah. Yeah.
It literally is.
Like it just fits. It's good.
Yeah.
You can't even tell in like Supernatural and Riverdale. You can't tell.
Yeah.
But and that shouldn't even have the budget to like
hide things.
So yeah. But there we go. It's X-Men.
X-Men is completed. 5 episodes, all dedicated to the X-Men movies, cinematics, which is pretty wild.
So do we have a plan for what's next yet?
We do have a plan.
Do we get to elaborate on the plan, or is it going to be a surprise plan?
Dun, 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 dun,
oh, what's coming up?
Dun, 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 dun,
We're just going to leave it like that.
Dun, dun,
you can figure it out.
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm actually really excited about that. Really excited.
Yeah, Kiddo is too. It's
been a really long time.
It has been. Ever since Mora.
Yeah. And I never even got to see that.
So yeah, right? Yeah. So that's what we're doing. So join us next week. Not next week, because this is taken up. We're gonna drop this one. This one's early.
It'll be a little bit of a
break. And then we'll be back in June there with the next episode. Indiana June.
Oh, pun fabulous.
Right? So we're going to be doing one Indiana Jones movie each week.
Yes.
And then maybe we'll supplement with something else. I know you've been wanting to watch a few things here and there, so...
Yeah, we've been talking about wanting to watch some like old classic Disney movies, and totally does not fit in the theme at all with the Indiana Jones, but then the concept of trying to watch like adventure movies...
Yeah,
it's not.
But you're gonna get our rewatch of the Indiana Jones saga.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, So sprinkled in with like Cinderella or Snow White. I know that's what you were wanting.
You get 2 minutes of Indiana Jones, 60 minutes of Cinderella.
As I recount the entire movie, apparently with that time frame. Okay, everyone. Well,
thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, and have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!